Welcome back, everybody. I'm Michael Foley, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to use footwork to control the distance in any fight. So in all combat sports, whoever controls the distance controls the fight. It doesn't matter if it's kickboxing, karate, mixed martial arts. If you control the distance, you control the fight. That usually comes down to who has the best footwork. For this video, I'm bringing in my student. This is Sheppard. She's a jiu-jitsu practitioner, a kickboxer, a karate black belt, and she just won the women's black belt fighting division at the ISKA US Open in Orlando, Florida. This first drill, this is just the setup on how to use footwork to control the distance in a fight. So the way we set this up is I'm going to be side on to my partner. Now this is a karate drill. You can use it for kickboxing, but it actually comes from fencing. And in fencing, if you mess up the distance, you end up on the wrong end of a sword. They perfected it. We're kind of borrowing the footwork from fencing. From here, we're at this distance right here. You can judge this distance by both extending your lead hand. And we're gonna try to keep this distance the whole time. From here, I can't punch Faith. She can't punch me back. But if I step in, I'm in range now that I can get punched in the face. We want to avoid that. So the entire time, we want to stay at a distance of 2 arm lengths apart. In the first section of this drill, I'm going to lead. So if I move towards Faith 1 foot, it's then her job that she would have to back up 1 foot. And if I back up a foot, she has to come forward a foot. And the distance I travel, it doesn't really matter. It could be 6 inches, it could be 1.5 feet, but she's going to match the distance I move either backwards or forwards. Check it out. So from here, we check our distance. And I'm just gonna walk this out. If I step towards her, she steps back, we're at the same distance. If I back up, she moves forward, we're at the same distance. We're gonna stop checking the distance, and you're just gonna walk it out like this. And check the distance again, and it lines up perfect. Once you got that down, we're gonna add a little bit of bouncing. When you bounce, I don't want you to bounce up and down. What I want you to do is you're gonna bounce in and out. It's called in and out footwork. So my back foot, I push off, put my weight onto my front foot, then I push off my front foot, shift my weight to my back foot. And when I do that on a bounce, it looks like this. Faith's gonna line up in front of me. We're gonna check our distance, and we're gonna start our in and out footwork. And now from here, if I move towards her, she backs up. If I back up, she moves towards me, and then you can mix this up. And it's Faith's job right now to try to maintain this distance. Once you understand how the footwork and the distancing works, we're gonna add strikes to this. We're gonna keep it simple today just with a lead hand jab or a back fist from karate. It looks like this. We're gonna line up, check our distance. Now I'm gonna lead this drill. So if I step towards Faith, she backs up. If I back up, she moves forward. But if I stop and give her a target right here with my lead hand, she should be 1 step away from being able to crack that with a jab. Then she's gonna get back to her distance. And then we're gonna switch up. She's gonna lead for me. If you do this at speed, it should look like this. We check our distance, we're on our toes, in and out footwork. If I move towards her, she backs up. If I back up, she moves towards. And if I give her a target, 1 crack away. And then it's her turn, so she's gonna lead me. Now I'm leading. And back and forth. Once you get that down, we're gonna enter into a little bit of a chaos mode here. I'm gonna lead, but my job isn't to help Faith maintain this distance right here. In fact, I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna try to manipulate it. I want Faith to either end up too far away from me or way too close. So I'm not gonna be her friend this time. I'm working against her. It's her job to maintain this distance right here. And if she does it right, when I stop and give her that target, and I'm gonna do it at the least opportune time for her, she should be 1 step away from being able to crack that with a jab. So it should look like this. We check our distance, in and out on our toes. Now from here, I'm just gonna start messing up her distance a lot. Really trying to mess around and then give her a target. She did that really well, but hopefully my job is to make her miss by a lot. That's very beneficial to the student, to the athlete training, because it's going to teach them how to stay at a safe range where I can't hit them, me going towards them, And if I'm retreating, it's teaching them how to get close enough so that they're just one crack away from being able to score that shot. Once you've mastered that, we can start to manipulate the drill to make it a little bit more advanced. The first way to do that is to change Faith's lead-in shots. Instead of hitting me with a jab, she's gonna hit me with her lead leg kick. And it should look like this. Check our distance. We're on our toes, we're moving in and out. And this time when I stop and give her a target, she's gonna hit it with a lead leg round kick. This is where people tend to really mess this drill up. It's when we add in lateral movement. So from here, myself and Faith face each other here. If I step in, she backs up. If I back up, she steps forward. But if I step to my right, Faith has to step to her left. And if I step to my left, she has to step to her right. So again, if I step to my right, she steps to her left. If I step to my left, she steps to her right. So when we do it at speed, it'll look like this. We'll check our distance. I'm gonna step towards her, she backs up. If I back up, she comes forward. If I go to my right, she goes to her left. If I go to my left, she goes to her right. You gradually add in the footwork, the bounce. If I step in, she backs up. If I back up, she goes forward. If I go right, she goes left. If I go left, she goes right. Now up to speed. So we check our distance, bouncing. A good way to practice this is every time I make Faith adjust her distance, I'm gonna stop and give her a target, and then she has to hit me with the jab. So it looks like this. So I consider this an intermediate to advanced level drill. Once your athlete gets this down, then what you wanna do as a coach is you wanna mess their distance and the lateral movement up. And you're also gonna change up and you're gonna give them a different target. So if I want Faith to hit me with a jab, I'm gonna give her the target by turning my palm towards her here. But if I want her to answer with a kick, I'm gonna turn my hand sideways here. It's a very slight distance. She's already worried about the footwork and the distance between us, and then she has to worry about which target she's being presented with. Okay, so it should look like this. So we check our distance, in and out footwork. Aside from being an expert martial artist, Faith also has a fitness page going on Instagram and TikTok. So if they want to find you, where can they track you down?
So you can find me on Instagram at Faith Sheppard Fitness or TikTok at Faith Fitness.
I'll leave the links to those in the description below. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It really helps the algorithm and lets me know that this is the type of content you want to see. I'm Michael Foley. I'll see you on the mats.